The Minecraft Copper Age update is finally here, so here's everything you need to know about the new Copper Golem. Creating the Copper Golem in a survival world is a fairly straightforward task, because all you need is a stone pickaxe and a little copper. You see, in order to make a full golem, you'll need at least 9 copper, and once you have it, smelt it down into ingots. You're also going to need 2 iron, and I'll explain what to do with that later. So once you have 9 copper and 2 iron, all you've got to do is craft the copper into a block like this, and the iron into shears like this. Yes, I'm using a texture pack that makes it look like a chainsaw. Anyway, once you have your shears, you're going to want to carve a pumpkin like this and then break it. And finally, place down the copper block and then the carved pumpkin on top. As you can see, you've just created a copper golem, along with your very own copper chest. But what are these things for anyway? Well, let's say I have 4 chests right here, and I put all my miscellaneous gear in the copper chest. As you can see, the copper golem will look inside the chest, take out some of the items, and sort them into these chests. So as you can see, the copper golem has put cobblestone in this chest, shears in this chest, and he's currently putting a stone pickaxe in this chest. There we go, all the items have been sorted thoroughly. For another example, in each of these chests is a valuable material that needs to be sorted. So I just slap down my trusty copper golem and load all the materials into the chest. And as you can see, he's already taking items out of the chest and sorting them into the correct one. The copper golem is pulling netherite ingots from the copper chest and realizing that they need to go in the chest with the other netherite ingots. And this works for any item in the game, from command blocks to stackable items to unstackables. But if you add an empty chest into the mix and give the copper golem something like your prized mace, then the copper golem will take the mace and eventually recognize that it doesn't fit into any of these chests because none of these chests have a mace in it. So he'll keep checking chests to see if there's one with a mace, and if he can't find one, he'll put it in the empty chest, which means that even if I throw all this random junk in there, the copper golem will still sort it all on his own. Look at the little guy, so cute, he's just going and doing his little thing. And this can lead to some pretty funny situations, like copper golems taking TNT out of this chest and putting it into this one so that it all falls down there. This is a creative mode copy of my Forever world, but I'm going to give you an example of how you could practically use copper golems. First of all, you can craft the copper chest like this if you don't want to make it with a golem. Second of all, you can place a double copper chest so you can fill your entire inventory into this thing. Look, I'm just loading all this random junk into here, and the copper golems are all going to work together and sort it into these chests really fast. The copper golems are really going to help people who pile random junk into their chests in a random order. Don't worry guys, I do that too. These are my actual survival mode chests. I haven't updated my Forever world just yet, but when I do, these guys are going to be such a big help. However, all good things must come to an end, because your copper golems aren't going to last forever. Because just like copper blocks, copper golems oxidize over time, until eventually you're left with this guy, the copper golem statue. This guy is so cute, and you can actually right click him to change his pose. Not to mention that each pose has its own comparator output, so you can have a combination lock using copper golems. But I mean, this guy was your buddy, you don't want to trap him as a statue, he wants to be free. So you can use an axe, and just like with a copper block, you can scrape away the oxidization layer by layer until eventually you're left with a working copper golem. And if you're worried about him oxidizing again, you can just right click him with honeycomb. A few other features of the Copper Age update are the copper lanterns, torches, and an entire armor and tool set. And with that, thank you for watching, I hope you enjoyed, and goodbye.